Savannah Guthrie, the co-anchor of the Today Show, has been a beloved morning figure for over a decade. Her professionalism, charm, and sharp interviewing skills have made her a household name, appearing on our screens as a picture of composure. But what if the woman we know so well is hiding a side of herself that goes back decades? Something so deeply hidden that even her closest family members might never have suspected. Behind that polished exterior, Savannah has been leading a double life, a secret identity that has remained buried for years, until now. The discovery of her mother's disappearance has unearthed long-kept truths, threatening to unravel everything Savannah worked so hard to protect. The call that changed everything. It was a morning like any other when Savannah received a call that would alter everything she knew about her life. In the midst of coordinating the search for her missing mother, Savannah's phone rang at 8:45 a.m. local time. Expecting another update from the sheriff's office, she was stunned to hear a woman on the other end, an unfamiliar name, Eleanor. The conversation, urgent yet measured, revealed long-buried secrets about Savannah's past, secrets she never intended to bring to light. Eleanor wasn't just a random voice, she was someone from Savannah's past, someone who knew about the hidden world she had been living in for years. The truth was finally beginning to crack open, and it could change everything. A hidden past, the birth of Clark. Savannah's childhood, by all outward appearances, was typical. Growing up in Tucson with her mother, Nancy Guthrie, after her father's untimely death, Savannah excelled academically and socially. But her achievements were not enough to ease the weight of her mother's expectations. Nancy, a strong, self-reliant woman, set high standards, demanding perfection, strength, and independence from her children. This environment left Savannah yearning for a way to escape, to experience life outside of the suffocating rules her mother had set. At the age of 16, Savannah met Elena Ramirez, a 19-year-old artist and activist who introduced her to a new world, one filled with freedom, creativity, and acceptance. Elena became Savannah's confidant, her escape from the strict rules of her family. And from this connection, Savannah created a secret identity, Clark, a persona where she could explore herself without restrictions. Building the shadow life, escapes to Tucson. As Savannah moved through her teenage years and onto college, the shadow life she created continued to thrive. Under her mother's watchful eye, Savannah worked hard to present herself as the model daughter, the diligent student, the future lawyer, and the promising journalist. But when the pressures of perfection became too much, Savannah would sneak away to Tucson, where Eleanor lived. These secret weekend trips weren't family visits, they were escapes. Savannah would leave her family behind and immerse herself in the underground art and activist circles that Elena was part of. There, Savannah could drop the mask of the perfect daughter and become Clark, a freer, messier version of herself who attended rallies, wrote poetry, and lived without the fear of disappointing her mother. Over the years, the double life deepened, and Savannah kept it hidden from everyone, including her siblings, her ex-husband, and even her children. Elena, the woman who knew Savannah's true self. Elena was more than just a lover or an activist to Savannah. She was the one person who truly knew the real Savannah, the parts that Savannah kept hidden from the world. Elena understood the pressures Savannah was under and the toll it took on her to maintain her polished public image. Elena was a sanctuary for Savannah, offering her the emotional freedom to explore her identity and fears without judgment. Over the years, as Savannah's career soared and her visits to Tucson became less frequent, Elena never pushed Savannah for more. She understood the stakes. If Savannah's secret was ever exposed, it could destroy everything she had worked for. But Elena never forgot their shared past, and she continued to keep an eye on Savannah from afar, hoping that one day the truth would be revealed. The family confrontation, unraveling the truth. The phone call from Eleanor forced Savannah to come clean to her family. For the first time in 30 years, she admitted the truth to her siblings, Annie and Cameron. They were stunned, and the emotional confrontation that followed was intense. Savannah explained how, since the age of 16, she had been living a double life, one as the dutiful daughter to Nancy, and the other as Clark, a rebellious artist and activist. She revealed everything about her secret identity, the trips to Tucson, the rallies, and the connection with Eleanor. Her siblings, particularly Annie, struggled with the revelation, torn between feelings of betrayal and concern for Savannah's safety. Cameron demanded more details, questioning how Elena might be involved in their mother's disappearance. Savannah swore Elena had no part in it, but the fear that their past might be linked to Nancy's vanishing hung heavily in the room. The FBI's involvement, Elena's role in the investigation. By the end of the day, the FBI had been brought in, and Elena's name was added to the investigation. Savannah's family was shocked to learn that someone they had never met was so deeply intertwined with their sister's past. The investigation delved into Savannah's years of secrecy, exploring how her double life might have influenced the current crisis. Eleanor, still living in Tucson, was soon flown in for questioning. Where her story aligned with Savannah's, she denied any involvement in Nancy's disappearance, only expressing concern for her old friend and the toll that their hidden past might have taken on both of them. As Elena's role in the investigation became clearer, Savannah was left to confront the reality that her carefully guarded secret had now become a critical part of the mystery surrounding her mother's vanishing. The emotional fallout, a family divided. The emotional fallout from Savannah's confession was profound. Annie and Cameron, struggling to process the depth of their sister's secret, were left grappling with their own feelings of betrayal. They questioned how Savannah could have kept such a significant part of herself hidden for so long. Annie especially was hurt by the thought that Savannah had been hiding such a large portion of her life, while Cameron expressed disbelief that their mother, Nancy, had never suspected anything. Savannah, feeling the weight of their disappointment, struggled with guilt, but also with the relief of finally letting her secret out. It had been a lifetime of living in the shadows, and now the truth was out, whether she was ready or not. A new reality, Savannah in the light. As the sun set over Tucson, Savannah sat on the patio looking at her phone. Eleanor had texted, "I'm sorry, but you don't have to hide anymore." For the first time in 30 years, Savannah wondered if the mask she had worn so carefully for her mother was finally ready to come off. But as the investigation turned toward the connection between the activist world and Nancy's disappearance, Savannah faced the painful reality that her secret life might have led to her mother's ordeal. As the investigation continued, one thing became clear. Savannah was no longer the same person who had carefully hidden her past. The woman who once lived in two worlds was now forced to live in the light, confronting not only her own truth, but the consequences of keeping it hidden for so long.